Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to start our math lesson for Tuesday, March 31st. All right, so let's get started with some review problems today. So our first problem is reviewing time. And this is something that we have been working on all year long. The directions say to write the digital time shown on each analog clock. All right, so let's look at the first one. I'm going to get my highlighter pen ready to go. Here we go. So looking at your hour hand, it's between the 11 and the 12. I know that the hour hand is still in the 11 zone, so the hour is still 11. Looking at our minute hand, it's pointing at the 6. Remember that we can count our time by counting by fives around the clock. So each number on our analog clock represents 5-minute increments. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we can say that the time is 11:30. Looking at our next clock, we have our hour hand pointing directly at the 3 and the long minute hand pointing on the 12. Remember, when the minute hand is pointing on the 12, we say o'clock. And we can show that by writing 3, 0, 0, 0 minutes. The next time we have 11, and we have our minute hand pointing on the 12. So what time is it? 11 o'clock. And our final review problem, we have our hour hand pointing between the 3 and the 4. And our minute hand is on the 6. That means our minute hand was originally on the 12 and it moved halfway around the clock. That means our hour hand is halfway between the 3 and the 4. What time is it? 3:30. Great job. Let's keep on reviewing today with some fact families. This is something that we also have been practicing for a while. And so I want us to review our fact family triangle. Remember, the two numbers at the bottom of our triangle are our two small addends, and then they add up to be our larger sum, indicated by the dot up at the top. So we can write our two addition facts and two subtraction facts for this fact family as 6 plus 5 equals 11, 5 plus 6 equals 11. And then for subtraction, remember, we always start with that larger sum. We can't take a big number away from a smaller number. We always start with the big number. 11 minus 5 equals 6, and 11 minus 6 equals 5. Moving over to number 2, we can write a fact family by looking at this domino. And we first have to figure out, what is this addend? What is this addend? And then we can total them all together. Well, I know that this side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This side is 6. And I knew that super fast because 3 and 3 make 6. So our fact family is 8 plus 6 equals 14 dots total. 6 plus 8 equals 14. Remember, we call that the turnaround rule. It doesn't matter the order of our addends, right? Whether you have 8 first or you have 6 first, they both add up to make 14. And the same for our two subtraction facts in that fact family. 14 minus 8 equals 6. 14 minus 6 equals 8. Coming down to number 3, it says to write the missing number. Complete the fact family. So sometimes we have to solve for a missing addend. And looking at this problem, they already wrote out one of our facts for us. It's 3 plus what equals 12. How can I figure this problem out? Well, I can use my counting on strategy and count on from 3 until I get to 12. Starting at 3, count on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you counted on 9, you are correct. So 3 plus 9 equals 12. Turn it around. 9 plus 3 equals 12. And then our two subtraction facts, we have 12 minus 3 equals 9. 12 minus 9 equals 3. And I love that this last problem kind of talks about how we can use addition and subtraction facts all the time, right? Fact families help us solve fluently. So number 4 says, how can 9 plus 3 equal 12 help you solve 12 minus 9? So I know that 9 plus 3 equals 12, so 12 minus 9 must be 3 because they are in the same fact family, right? Remember, fact families, boys and girls, they have the same 3 numbers, okay? They're using the same 3 numbers, 2 addition, 2 subtraction. All right, so we're going to move on to our math message for today's lesson. So I'd like for you to follow along as I read our math message. Ben says, my shape has exactly 3 sides and 3 corners. Draw Ben's shape. Now, boys and girls, if you have a pencil or crayons and paper and you would like to do this on your own, go ahead and do that. You can pause this video, go get those supplies, and you can go ahead and work this problem out if you'd like. So Ben says my shape has exactly 3 sides and 3 corners. Draw Ben's shape. Sasha says my shape is small and blue. Draw Sasha's shape. So if you have your supplies and you want to work that out, you can. If not, no worries, because I'm going to show you my work on the next slide. And then our last discussion question that we're going to be talking about says, could Ben and Sasha have drawn the same shape? Explain why or why not. Record your answer. So I'm going to give you a moment to do those questions if you want to draw those shapes and maybe discuss this question with a mom or a dad or someone who is sitting with you, or maybe you just want to talk it out with yourself. You can pause this video, work it out, and I'm going to move on to our next slide. So going back to Ben's shape. Ben said that his shape had 3 sides and 3 corners. Well, I went ahead and drew this shape. Maybe you drew a shape that looks just like this one. That's right, it's a triangle. A triangle has 3 sides and 3 corners. Moving to Sasha's shape, she said that her shape was small and blue. So maybe you guys drew one of these shapes on your paper, or maybe you were thinking about maybe she drew a small blue circle. Maybe she drew a small blue square. Maybe she drew a small blue triangle or a trapezoid. So let's discuss this for a little bit. Well, I know that Ben drew a triangle, and I'm sure because the only shape that has exactly 3 sides and 3 corners is a triangle. I don't know what Sasha's shape is. The words small and blue could apply to many different shapes. Ben and Sasha could have drawn the same shape because a triangle can be blue and small. Now, what if Sasha said, my shape is small, blue, and has 6 sides? Could she and Ben still have drawn the same shape? Well, no, because Ben drew a shape with 3 sides, not 6. He drew a triangle. What shape could Sasha be talking about? I wonder. I think I know. I think she drew a hexagon. Which words in Sasha's new description gave the most important clues that helped you know the shape? Well, for me, I knew the clue 6 sides told me that the shape must be a hexagon. Remember, boys and girls, we talked about shapes and we talked about how hexa means 6. So a hexagon is a 6-sided shape. Well, today we are going to review defining attributes of shapes. We're going to learn the definition of a polygon, and we're going to practice defining and identifying shapes. So remember, boys and girls, that we did talk about defining and non-defining attributes of shapes. We said that defining attributes are what you see that always stay the same. And defining attributes are those vertices, the number of vertices, the number of sides, and the number of corners. We know that a triangle is always going to have 3 vertices and 3 sides. That's what make a triangle a triangle. Non-defining attributes are different. Okay, non-defining attributes are those things that you can change. So things like color, size, pattern, those things can change, right? But it doesn't change the shape. So if you look at this example, we have a purple rectangle and an orange rectangle, right? Purple and orange change, but they're still both rectangles. Just like this triangle. This triangle is blue, this triangle is orange, and this triangle is purple. Or this triangle is small and this one's big. It doesn't matter if it's small or big, orange or purple. It's still a triangle because it has 3 vertices and 3 sides. So the most important attributes for a plain 2D shape are the number of sides. And remember, a side is the straight line that builds a shape, and vertices. So a vertex is the point where 2 sides meet. So this is a vertex. And we said that more than one vertex are called vertices. So today, boys and girls, I said that we were going to learn a new vocabulary word, and that vocabulary word is polygon. A polygon is a plain 2D shape that must be closed. It has more than just 3 straight sides, and they have no curves. So a polygon is a 2D shape that must be closed, has more than 3 straight sides, and it has no curves. Let's look at some examples of polygons and non-polygons. So up here we have examples of polygons. Notice how all of these shapes have straight sides, okay? They all have straight sides and they're all closed. Down here, these are examples of not polygons. So this right here is a circle. It's not a polygon because it has curves, right? It has curves. There's no straight sides. The same as this squiggle line, right? A squiggle line is definitely not straight. And then we know that this right here, this triangle, it has 3 straight sides, but oh, there's an opening. It's not closed. These are not polygons. And remember, boys and girls, that we can name polygons by the number of sides that they have. So some examples of polygons that are named by the number of sides that they have, we have a hexagon. Remember, hexa means 6. So a hexagon is a polygon that has 6 sides and 6 corners. Pentagon. Penta means 5. And a pentagon is a polygon that has 5 sides, 5 corners. An octagon is a polygon with 8 sides and 8 corners. And remember, we learned that trick about that crazy animal in the ocean, right? That has 8 legs, that octopus. Octa means 8, just like how an octopus has 8 legs, an octagon has 8 sides and 8 corners. Now looking at this polygon family tree diagram, this is kind of cool, boys and girls, because it shows the different types of polygons. So a triangle is a polygon, right? A triangle is a polygon because it has straight closed sides. And there are different types of triangles, right? So if you look, there's an equilateral, there's a scalene, a right triangle, and an isosceles triangle. You don't really need to know those special names of triangles, but you do need to know that a triangle is a type of polygon. Looking down here, quadrilateral. Quadrilaterals are special types of polygons. Okay, quadrilateral is just a fancy word for a polygon that has 4 sides. And we have talked about how we have found that there are a lot of shapes that have four sides. So those four-sided shapes have a fancy name. They're called quadrilaterals. So shapes like trapezoid, parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, and square, those are all polygons that are called quadrilaterals. And then we also look over here, we have pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nonagon, decagon. These are all those really cool polygons that are named based on the number of sides that they have. So penta means 5, hexa means 6, hepta means 7, octa means 8, nona means 9, and deca means 10. So a decagon is a shape that has 10 sides. Crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and practice identifying and learning about some shapes today. So it says that we need to draw a polygon with 8 sides and 8 vertices. What shape is it? Well, I'm just going to start drawing some sides, and you can count with me to make sure that I have drawn 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I made an octagon. Remember that an octagon has 8 sides and 8 vertices, and we can remember it with remembering how an octopus has 8 legs. All right, well, let's try describing this shape by telling 2 defining attributes. Can I say that a defining attribute is that this shape is pink? No, we can't say that the color of the shape is a defining attribute. What about, can I say that this shape is big? No, that's not a defining shape or a defining attribute of this shape either. I can't just say that this is a big pink shape. That doesn't help me, right? I need to be more specific. I need to use those defining attributes. So I can say it has 6 sides and 6 vertices. Remember, sides and vertices are defining attributes. Do you remember what we call a shape that has 6 sides and 6 vertices? Yeah, that's right. It's a hexagon. Hexa means 6. All right, well, let's practice identifying shapes with some riddles. So the first riddle says, Joe sees a plane shape. It looks like a clock. It also looks like a nickel. What shape does Joe see? I'm thinking of a clock, and I definitely remember nickels. Did you guess circle? You are correct. A circle is a plane shape that looks like a clock and a nickel. The next shape riddle says, Paul draws a plane shape. It has 3 sides. The sides have straight lines. What shape does Paul draw? What shape has 3 straight sides? If you guessed triangle, you are correct. Our last riddle says, Lainey draws a plane shape. The shape has 4 sides. It is not a square. What could the shape be? Well, I remember that polygon family tree, and we learned that there's a special name for polygons that have 4 sides. We said that those were called quadrilaterals. And we saw that there were a lot of different quadrilaterals. Some ideas that I've come up with. I know that a rhombus, rectangle, and trapezoid are just some quadrilaterals that have 4 sides, that they are not squares, but they do have 4 sides. So it could be one of those shapes. Well, today, boys and girls, we reviewed defining attributes of shapes. We learned the definition of a polygon, and we practiced defining and identifying shapes. I would like for you guys to take a moment and complete this exit ticket. So Normally we do these in class, but you can go ahead and just do this virtually today. Don't worry about getting a pencil or paper or anything. I just want you to think about two defining attributes of this shape. Two defining attributes of this shape. Do you remember what we talked about? What are defining attributes of shapes? Couple more seconds. Two defining attributes of this shape. All right, well, if you said this shape has four sides and four vertices, you are correct. You could have also said that an attribute might be that this shape is a closed shape, and that would have been okay too. Well, I am so proud of you guys today, and I hope that you had fun learning today with me, and I can't wait to get on with our next lesson. See you soon.